The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Sarah Chen's body hit the crystalline floor, purple blood from the Vorthon assassin's blade still dripping from her chest. The assembled delegates, representatives of 47 different species, watched in stunned horror as the human woman's life ebbed away, her final words echoing through the vast hall. "Tell Earth, we tried diplomacy." High Counselor Zephyx of the Altarian hegemony raised his forearms in a gesture of dismissal. "The human pest is eliminated. Now we can proceed with the partition of their pathetic little world without interference." The other council members murmured their agreement. Humanity had been a thorn in their side for too long. Their rapid expansion, their stubborn refusal to accept subjugation, their annoying insistence on rights and sovereignty. Earth's resources were too valuable to leave in the hands of such primitive creatures. What they didn't understand was that Sarah Chen wasn't just an ambassador. She was also Earth's final warning. 3 days later, the first reports began filtering in from the Outer Rim territories. Entire Vorthon mining colonies had gone dark. When scout ships investigated, they found nothing but twisted metal and crystallized atmosphere. The signature of human antimatter charges detonated at precise intervals to maximize destruction. Admiral Kresh of the Hegemony Defense Fleet dismissed the reports. "Terrorist attacks. We'll hunt down these human rebels and make examples of them." But the attacks weren't random. They followed a pattern that chilled military strategists across the galaxy. Every strike hit critical infrastructure with surgical precision. Jump gates collapsed. Communication relays were vaporized. Supply lines were severed with mathematical exactness. The humans weren't just lashing out in grief. They were systematically dismantling the galactic economy. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the UES Vengeance, watching through the view screen as another Altarian trade hub burned. Her ship was one of humanity's new Ghost-class destroyers, invisible to conventional sensors, armed with weapons that bent physics in ways the older races had forgotten were possible. "Captain," her tactical officer reported, "the evacuation ships have cleared the civilian areas. The station is confirmed as military only." Elena nodded. Even in their rage, humans maintained their principles. No civilians. No unnecessary casualties. Just clean, efficient destruction of anything that supported the war machine that had murdered their ambassador. "Fire," she commanded. The station's shields, supposedly impenetrable hegemony technology, simply ceased to exist as human quantum disruptors tore through them like tissue paper. The facility followed moments later, consumed by exotic matter reactions that would puzzle alien scientists for centuries. In the deepest vaults beneath Geneva, Earth's War Council convened an emergency session. Fleet Admiral Harrison studied the holographic display showing the galaxy in real time. Red dots marked human strike teams. Blue zones indicated enemy territory. The pattern was beautiful in its terrible efficiency. "Status report," Harrison requested. General Morrison stepped forward. "Operation Ambassador is proceeding ahead of schedule. 17 major shipyards destroyed, 43 supply depots eliminated, 8 jump gate networks severed. Enemy response has been inadequate. They still don't understand what they're facing," Admiral Zhang added from her position at the tactical display. "They think we're just angry. They don't realize this is mathematics." Harrison nodded grimly. For 50 years, humanity had prepared for this moment. While they'd played at diplomacy, sending ambassadors and peace treaties, their best minds had been wargaming, computing, planning for the day when the galaxy would reveal its true nature. Every human ship carried quantum-encrypted coordinates for 10,000 critical targets. Every human soldier knew exactly where to strike for maximum systemic damage. The assassination of Ambassador Chen had simply been the signal to execute decades of preparation. High Counselor Zephyx paced frantically in his private chambers as reports flooded in. His military advisors spoke in hushed, terrified whispers. "My lord," General Vorthak wheezed, "we've lost contact with the entire Rigel sector. Our economists estimate the humans have cost us 300 billion credits in the past week alone." "How many ships do they have?" Zephyx demanded. "Intelligence suggests perhaps 1,000 vessels." 1,000? The counselor's voice rose to a shriek. "We have fleets numbering in the millions. How are they doing this?" The general's membrane wings fluttered nervously. "My lord, they're not fighting us ship to ship. It's as if they're performing surgery on our entire civilization. They know exactly where to cut to cause maximum bleeding. Through his massive window overlooking the hegemony capital, Cephix watched merchant vessels flee in panic. The economic disruption was spreading faster than any physical attack could. Trade routes that had existed for millennia were collapsing as corporations pulled back from any system that might contain human raiders. Ambassador Chen had once told the council a human proverb: "Diplomacy is the art of saying nice doggy while looking for a rock." They had laughed at the crude metaphor, dismissing it as typical human primitivity. Now, as their civilization began to fracture under precisely targeted strikes, they began to understand. The humans had been looking for rocks for 50 years, and when diplomacy finally failed, when they murdered Earth's ambassador in cold blood, humanity had simply picked up the largest rock they could find. The galaxy was about to learn why in human mythology, it was never wise to awaken sleeping giants. From the bridge of humanity's flagship Retribution, Admiral Harrison opened a channel to broadcast across all galactic frequencies. His message was brief and carried the weight of 7 billion souls crying out for justice. "This is Admiral Harrison of the United Earth Fleet. You killed our ambassador. You declared war on our species. We tried to warn you, diplomacy was your only option with humanity. Now you get to see what our other options look like. Earth remembers, Earth endures, and Earth will have justice." As the transmission ended, 10,000 human ships emerged from quantum stealth across the galaxy, ready to continue their methodical dismantling of an empire that had forgotten a simple truth: some species are too dangerous to make into enemies. The destruction had only just begun.